I was appointed to the Academy in 1965 by a senator who I was running against in 1972. Never planned it that way. I wasn't old enough to be sworn in. I was only 29 years old when I was running. He was a fine man. His name was J. Caleb Boggs. I didn't come to the Academy because I wanted to be a football star, and you had a guy named Staubach and Bellino here. So I went to Delaware. But all kidding aside, the best line of the debate was, after it was all over, the announcer, the questioner, who was a good guy but supported my opponent, who was a good man as well, I might add. And he said, "Senator Boggs, you have anything else you want to say?" And he said, "Yes, just one thing." And he took the microphone. He said, "You know, Joe, if you accepted my commission to my appointment to the Academy," he said, "you'd still have 1 year and 3 months active duty, and I'd have no problems right now." So the class of 72, welcome.
Biden had a vision. He has talked about what that vision looks like.
He forgot it, though.
No.
His Alzheimer's kicked in. He did. You ain't see him? He was talking the other day. He turned around and wasn't nobody back there. He was like, "Well, I'll be damned. I thought somebody was behind me."
There was a promise made, an intention.
It was a bold statement from the president, and it was almost immediately walked back by the White House while he continues his trip in Asia. The president saying that he would use the U.S. military to defend Taiwan if China were to invade. But that's not the stated and long-standing U.S. policy of strategic ambiguity necessarily. CNN has learned that President Biden's comments caught some of his top aides off guard. This is drawing a sharp response already from China.
You didn't want to get involved in the Ukraine conflict militarily for obvious reasons. Are you willing to get involved militarily to defend Taiwan if it comes to that?
Yes.
You are?
That's the commitment we made.
It's always an unnamed, anonymous White House official that cleans up the blunder. These gaffes are alarming. They're weird to watch. They're disconcerting when it's the president. But when it's in the context of foreign policy, Harris, it takes on an entirely different set of alarm, thinking that you could set off an enemy, a foe, a world power. And in this case, with this Taiwan remark, who was it that cleaned it up? The White House official who declined to be unnamed. In the case of suggesting regime change in Russia, who is it that cleaned it up? The official line was within minutes, a White House official was telling reporters it was not the case. And Harris, it's not just these two. When he was in Warsaw, remember what he said about, he told the 82nd Airborne, "You're going to see when you're there." And then the minor incursion remark that Jen Psaki must have been dictating the cleanup statement in her office. I mean, the list goes on. This is foreign policy. You can provoke enemies.
Senator Kennedy, I would just urge you to follow a separate line of questioning. As Director Reyes said, he's not going to answer questions relative to this case that's being litigated.
I appreciate that, Madam Chair, and you know how much I respect you. I want my time back, by the way.
You can have those 3 seconds that I
No,
took.
you talk for about 10 seconds.
I'm happy to give you those 10 seconds.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I appreciate your help with my questions, but I can handle it myself. Chris, at some point you're going to have to address this.
You know, when we talk about our children, I know for this group, we all believe that when we talk about the children of the community, they are the children of the community.
And when it comes to the gas prices, we're going through an incredible transition that is taking place that, God willing, when it's over, we'll be stronger and the world will be stronger and less reliant on fossil fuels when this is over.
I am tired of hearing about being the best state in the country to do business when we are the worst state in the country to live.
We have to find out. I mean, look, another 5, a baby cries, we don't have food. Come on.
That's just as bad as it gets.
This is bad. It hits us home as deeply as possible.
The question about voter suppression and voter turnout is causation without correlation. I'm sorry, you can make mistakes even when you know what you're talking about. It's correlation without causation. We know that increased turnout has nothing to do with suppressant.
It has been the policy, apparently, of the Biden administration to push for free or almost free college for people who are here illegally. Do you still stand by that proposal? Or do you think it's something you might take off the table?
Congressman Grothman, I remember having a conversation with a teacher who was a dreamer, who was working twice as hard so that she can help the students in her classroom. And the Biden administration has been very clear that we do support ensuring dreamers have an opportunity for federal financial aid, including the Pell Grant.
Well,
these are students who are making a big difference in their communities. And
aren't kids born in America making a big difference in their communities?
Yes, they are.
Why do you insult them by offering these programs to illegal immigrants and not giving them to American citizens?
Sure,
A Build Back Better. From where many of my people sit, nothing's been built, and nothing is back, and nothing is better.
She asked if we knew what the FDA stands for. Before we could reply, she said, formula doesn't arrive. Formula doesn't arrive. FDA. My friends, the FDA failed to do its job, plain and simple. What happened to the other submissions? Did you expedite the review of the new formula submissions when you took the helm at the FDA amidst a growing shortage? By law, the FDA has 90 days to review new infant formula manufacturing submissions. What's the average number of days it actually takes for the FDA to review these?
Senator Burr, FDA employees are working around the clock, and they are hardworking people. So I somewhat resent the implication of part of that. But
Dr. Califf, there's no member that's defended the FDA more than this one, and there's no member in Congress that has tried to fix areas when they are broken than this one. If you want to get into this with me, I'm happy to do it. I got 28 years worth of it.
I know you're quite capable of that. So let me just say, right from the start, any good application was expedited by the FDA since the shortage became evident.
So 42 minus 15, the rest of them were not good applications?
I think you were referring to 2019 or something you said?
No, it was FY21.
Yeah, I'll have to get back on the details on that.
Listen, thanks. This is going to be a haul. This is going to take some time. But in the meantime, it seems to me the best thing I can do, in addition to try to get the Middle Eastern countries, including OPEC, to raise their production of oil and move along that route, is to see to it that we continue to grow our economy.
The baby formula business, as you know, in the United States is dominated by 3 or 4 major players. The recall in Abbott happened back in February. President Biden only invoked the Defense Production Act last week. Why was the Biden administration so slow to respond to this crisis?
Well, we acted immediately.